Yo, it looks like that the audio is working this time around. It is crazy because it's always something when you get to a point where you actually want to start something and do something. And that's pretty much what the conversation is going to be centered around today when it comes to like you running a business, whether it's an event space business, whether you already got your event space or you're trying to get it, or whether you looking to start a business. It doesn't really matter. Just it's business related. When you're looking to start something, there is always um, something. I don't really want to call it like a hindrance, but there's always something that happens. Like this is my second time starting this live, for instance, because the audio wasn't working right. I'll say, look, I'm finna go live on YouTube. Audio wasn't working, but jumping right into it, I'm hoping that it's working now. I'm hoping that y'all can hear me. So, um, getting into it, getting into it. Hold on, y'all. Getting into it. I'm just double checking that my sound works. Just bear with me a moment. I'm just trying to figure out if the sound works. Okay, so getting into it. So like if you running this business, right, and you like, okay, look, you starting a business and like you get this idea, this concept that you want to get it going, that like I know it's gonna be everything. One of the worst things that you can do for the business is, and this is me speaking personal, um, I found myself doing this, comparing and contrasting when I first started, when I first said like I want to be an entrepreneur, right? And you don't want to do you won't want to do the comparison of like, oh well, this person has this person is this far in their journey, this person is, what I'm saying, they got this big space, or they making all this money with their business. Now you can admire, from where you are in the place that you are, because I still do it now. Like I have a successful business, right? And success is measured based on the person that believe, like, thinks what that success is. So like it's a measurable thing based on you. It's not like based on what the world says it is or whatever. It's 100% based on you. But what I had to venture away from was like the comparison mindset, because it really holds you back. Like you already got enough going on, in the sense of like when you try to decide that you're doing something. Like I just had this technical issue with the video and the audio. You already, as soon as you decide that you want to do something, of course a roadblock pops up because you decided finally that you're going to do something. That doesn't mean that when you see that roadblock that you shouldn't do it. So as soon as you decide that you're going to start the event space business, or as soon as you go out to go get your first booking for your event space, but then it just doesn't go how you think it should have went, or you don't get the bookings that you think you should have got, does that mean next month you should quit? No, it doesn't mean next month you should quit. It just means that it's um the growing pains of not just life, but the growing pains of business. Like coming out the gate, um, unless you have a system or a setup, you're not going to be always looking at all these bookings that these people or the gurus may advertise and say, well, hey, look, you're going to get, you know, 40, 50K in bookings your first month when you start. Like it doesn't look like that all the time. And just because it doesn't look like that, it doesn't mean that you're not successful. Just because if you don't get, if you don't make 10,000 your first month, you only make 5,000, or you make 8,000, that doesn't mean you're not successful. That's an extra income to what you already got going. So changing your perspective is going to change the level of not only how you think about yourself, but it's going to change the way you walk. It's going to change the way, um, it's going to change the way you approach business. It's going to change the way you do business with people. Just all around. Like I know personally, when I changed the way that I just looked at what my expectations were about me and what success meant for me, that changed the landscape of my business 100,000%. Like it changed like how much money I made. Like I went from only looking at and only seeing things where like maybe like a booking was only, event space only, to now they're coming in, they're doing everything. It changed like with like coaching for me, to where like me being me, almost like looking at myself and not valuing like how good I am of a coach, to like, oh, okay, well, you can charge, whatever the case may be. Like just changing your overall thought process and perspective of what business should be is going to help you be a better business owner. And so Can you and will you get to your 5-figure months with your business, your event space, with your coaching business, with your hair care, whatever you do? Will you get to that startup goal of 10K a month? Yes, you'll get there. If you haven't gotten there, will you get there? Now, will it take work to get there? Sure, it'll take work, but the work starts with the perspective of what success is, because sometimes it's so um sometimes how you doing, Yolanda? Sometimes it's so just like the whole 10K a month thing. Like sometimes when you start from zero, it looks like everything is out of reach because you're starting from zero. But I swear to you, like when you get rolling, it's easy. Like it becomes easier day by day. The more you put into it, just a little bit more each day. And that's why I like the focus. Like I don't focus on being like 50% better than I was yesterday. I just focus on being 1% better. If I do one extra thing every single day in business, I'm just like, it's gonna add up. You know what I'm saying? Then like if you look at it percentage wise, if I'm starting January 1st and I'd be 1% better every day for all 365 days of the year, that means at the end of the year, I'm 360 some percent better overall. So I've lapped 100% like better. So like overall, like I've become so way better versus like, well, putting so much pressure on yourself. So if today you start out and you looked at 3 locations today, or you start out and you viewed or you was online for an hour, go an hour and 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow. If today you reached out and you called customers to see if they wanted to book, and you made, you know what I'm saying, 10 calls on your lunch break. Okay, cool. Try to make 12, you know what I'm saying? Like, because at that first day, once you realize that it's doable, then you know, okay, it's doable. I can show up and I can do it, and I can continue to do it, and you're gonna get better with time. Like I didn't come out the gate in none of my businesses making 10K a month. I just didn't do it. It didn't happen like that. I didn't come out the gate making 5K a month. It just doesn't happen like that. Now, will you get there? Yes. You know what I'm saying? But it's not an overnight thing. And of course we see, like we see things online. You see people with cars, you see these houses, you see all these things, and it's like, I want these things. But then it's like, okay, well, how do I get this stuff? Well, first, let me just tell you from personal experience. When I bought, um, I got a couple luxury cars. I have a motorcycle. When I bought my my luxury cars, like I have a X, I got an X6, and then I got a Mercedes. And when I bought them, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And it was like the hype was there. Like I was ecstatic over them. But a lot of times when you get stuff like that, after you get it, I ain't gonna say you get like buyer's remorse, but it's just like you'll find that with success, like, is that what I really want? And you'll second guess it. And it's like, what did I get my dream cars? Yes. But then it's like, what's next? Right? Because you get it, and that feeling, the endorphins, the shot of that in the moment high, right? That you get from getting the thing that you want to reach in the goal, it only lasts right there in that moment. And then you can look back on that memory now. It's like, okay, cool. And that stuff take time. Yeah, it takes time. Like it took me years of entrepreneurship before I even had the mindset to say, like, I'm gonna go after my dream cars. Like, and I bought my dream cars within a month of time of each other. I didn't like I went out and I got my I flew out first class to go get my I picked up my my BMW, and I found it. Um did everything over the phone, like online, for it. And then when I picked it up, and then the Benz was a little bit shopping around, but pretty much kind of the same thing. But got it in my city though, well, in a suburb of my city, and and I got them a month apart from each other. Now, personally, was that like, I don't know what I was on. I don't know what I was like Like, would I go back and do that same thing again? No, I wouldn't go back and buy 2 luxury cars within a month's time of each other. And it's not like a thing of, it's not like a thing of like, it's not like a thing of like affordability. It's just a thing of like understanding that with success, like it's things that you think that you want, but when you get them, it's just like, oh, okay, they're cool. Like, what's next? And so when you're looking at like the business that's going to drive your success, whether that the business is in the event space, whether it's a coaching business, whether it's a hair salon, whether it's a gym, whether it's real estate, like when you're looking at what the driver is for your success, like what's going to get you there, the vehicle, that's what the term is, the vehicle that's going to be used to get to your success. Looking at that vehicle, understanding like what that vehicle is. Like, for me, event spaces were never meant to be like a long-term thing for me. That's not what they are for me. Event space was always like, man, it's a way to step into entrepreneurship in a different way, because brick and mortars is probably the hardest business model that you can actually do, because you have to get people to physically go into a place after they've decided that they want to be lazy post pandemic, right? Like everybody got lazy. Like you can Instacart, you can get groceries to your crib, you can get food to your crib. Like, yeah, did we always have delivery and some of these things? Yes, but to the magnitude that they are now, like you can literally order a whole cart full of groceries and get it sent to you within an hour. Like level of convenience that we have, like you can literally do an online. I remember when the pandemic was on and like everybody in their spaces was doing like these online parties and people would join, and then everybody kind of just like turning up from their house or whatever the case may be, or they'll invite, it'd be almost kind of like a, and I ain't saying no names and I'm not saying that we did this, but it'd be kind of like a speakeasy type of vibe. Like you'll have to know where the place was at, like, and it was all low key and everything like that. Like, but the level of innovation that you get when you're forced to get that level of innovation, um, it really shows like where your thought process is. So it's like, and tying that back into the thing of like the big purchases that you buy, it's bigger and deeper than just the car. It's bigger and deeper than just the house. Like, what's the real driving force? Like, once you get in that vehicle, that being an event space, that being the business model that you have to make this money, once you get in the vehicle, understanding where that vehicle is going to take you is what's going to fulfill you a lot better. Because, and I'm speaking from a personal, like, understanding that my whole thought process behind business is and still stands and always will stand on, I want to help people achieve XYZ goal. And in helping them achieve XYZ goal, that's going to be fulfilling for me and purposeful for me. So when you get your event space, understanding whether or not, and sometimes why we don't have it, could be the simple fact that we haven't decided what the real purpose behind it is going to be. Because if your driving force is just money, money is not always enough, because you make money going to work and you still don't, like I know when I my last job, like I made, I got paid base and commission. So getting paid base and commission, I still didn't have the motivation to go in there. So money is not always going to be the best motivator for the level of success. Like you can want to make $1 million, but it's just like, okay, I want to just make $1 million? Do I want to have $1 million? But then the flip side of it is, what do I want to do past it? Do I want to make 10 million? What am I gonna do with it? And what I've learned personally in these years of business, that I've been an actual full-time entrepreneur, not part-time, but 100% full-time, is that while figuring out exactly what I want to do long-term has helped me in the short term. So knowing like, cause like I got my major purchases out of the way that I really wanted. Like I already had real estate property. So that was already checked off, and got the dream cars. So it's like beyond that, it's like, well, I mean, I already took vacations, right? So it's like when you think about like the levels of like, sometimes success could be really, really basic, and we could think about it on a basic level. When if I challenge you to dig a little deeper, because I have to challenge myself, like, what do you really, 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 really want from this vehicle? Where do you want this vehicle to really take you? Do you want it to take you to, you know what I'm saying, a summer home in, I don't know, like Thailand or something like that? a house in Dubai. Like, what do you really aspire to have? And then it'll be a lot easier for you to get in that vehicle, start the vehicle, and to get it rolling. It's hard to get it rolling because we can't see past, we don't know where we're going with it. And so it's hard. That's why sometimes it's hard for you to be consistent. Because if I don't know where I'm going in business, I can't, like, I don't do the work, because I don't know, like, if I come out with a new offer or a new program, right? Because I've leaned a lot into like the coaching space of things. It's harder if you don't know where you're going, what, like, and what's the purpose. And when I say where you're going, I mean, what's the purpose for it? Who is it going to really help? And so what I like to do is I like to outline, okay, well, this thing is going to help this people. And it really just makes it easier for you to set up, like, and that's kind of like your preparation, right? So it's like, who is it going to help? What is it going to give them? And then in that preparation, you're really speaking to, now you're really niching down and figuring out who your avatar is. And that goes into a whole another thing of things, right? I'm gonna get on the board and one of these days and break that down. But like an avatar in short is the ideal customer of who you're selling to. And you have an avatar with event spaces, like that's like almost like a niche, right? It has something to do with your niche. Your niche being, who do you want to sell to? Like what type of events are you going to focus on? And then your avatar is what does that person look like that's going to rent out for those events? So if you want to focus on weddings, okay, cool. The avatar will be a bride or a groom. The avatar would be like a bride or a groom. And so that being said, what does the bride or groom look like? What do they do? How much money do they make? You know what I'm saying? Like, because then it'll help you a lot better with your packaging. Because I see a lot of people, I'm in all these event space groups, and I see like that being the biggest thing. But again, it goes back to the base format of our vehicle. You get in the vehicle and you don't know where you're driving. It's kind of like trying to take a road trip to say you live in Michigan and you trying to get all the way down to Florida, and you just decide you're gonna take this road trip. Now it's a long road trip, but you say you're gonna take this road trip from Michigan to Florida, or from Chicago where I'm at to Florida, but you don't have Google Maps, you don't got MapQuest, like I'm exposed to you ain't got nothing, right? Because you don't know where you're going. And so you have to know these things kind of before you start. Your niche, who you're going to be serving, your avatar, what they look like, what do they do. Shirley said, do I need an LLC before finding my place? Yeah, you want to get an LLC. How can you start with no money? I don't really know what you mean, no money. I mean, yeah, you can get like the 0% interest credit card, stuff like that. But do you mean like no money or no income? Like you definitely gotta have some income. Because they're going to, any place they're going to they're going to look for proof of income. They want to know, how can you pay for this place if you don't make no money? Like, can you pay for it? Can you afford it? Because yeah, can you go get 0% interest credit cards if you got, like, the credit score and all those things line up, all those factors, and this and that really, and what this is about, like, but can you go do those things? Yes, you can, but you do want to have some income on the background. Like I'm gonna be 100% honest. I've never, and if I have, I apologize, but I've never been this person that's online like, man, quit your job right now. No, because having a job and being an entrepreneur is probably the biggest wealth hack in the world. But is it one of the most difficult things to do? Yes. If I could go back and do it, and somebody asked me this recently, they asked me, what would you do? Would you do it the same if you can go back and do it? I would have still quit the job that I quit, but I would have got another job. And in getting that other job, it would have just been more of the factors of, and I probably wouldn't have been full time, would have been part time. And here's why: just because, again, I know that it's a wealth hack, and so having that, it's not even about the job being cushioned, but it's, everybody's not built to get it out of the quote unquote mud. Everybody's not built to jump in the lion's den and say, look, I'm gonna just go full time. Was I built for it? Yeah, I was, obviously, because I did it. But And I didn't like go under. I didn't like lose my house. I didn't like lose all these worldly possessions. Like I lost more stuff when I, to be honest, when I was just working my standard 9 to 5. So, but the point that I'm making is that like, don't feel all this pressure to quit your job. If that's what you want to do, you have to again know the vehicle that's going to allow you to do it. And event spaces might be a vehicle that gets you to point B, but C may be your destination. So you still need another vehicle to get you from B to C. And so just understanding where you are and where you're going is going to just make the entire entrepreneurial process way better for you. So checking some things off boxes for you. Can you do it? Yes. Why can you do it? Because I do it and because I did. And it's like, well, who the hell are you, Jarrell? Right. Well, I college dropout. Um, college dropout. I've tried and worked a little bit of everywhere. Um, I did it with my last $5,000. And did I have a partner helping me? Yes. Right. And I'm not like, yes, but it wasn't like we pulled in and we didn't have a whole lot of money. So I mean, we had like 5K and a few personal credit cards, right? And that's it. So do you need a whole lot of money to start? In a lot of use cases, it varies on the city. And like if you trying to get a space in like Miami, yeah, the real estate is costs more in Miami than it costs in like Chicago. Real estate in New York costs more than it costs in like Idaho. You know what I'm saying? But like understanding that the event space model is a real estate model and it's not just a regular business, it's real estate. So if you're in a more prominent city or a bigger city, right, it's going to cost more to start, flat out. Like that's just what it is. If you're in a smaller town, smaller city where real estate is not as expensive, commercial real estate, it may not cost as much to start. And when I say cost as much to start, I'm really just talking about your rental rates. But moving beyond that, really this upcoming season, like preparation, like preparation now. So if you got the space already now, some of the things that you want to be looking at and I'm talking like right now, like you're doing bookings or you're about to open. Yes, try to get these summer bookings, but people put so much focus on the summer and they never prepare for the winter. So some of the key things that you could do to prepare for your winter months are you could put up and set out winter promotions right now. And the reason being is because with marketing and advertising, it takes people anywhere from 18 times to like 36 times to see something, which is why you see so many people on social media hitting you with stuff every single day, all throughout the day, if they're going to go the organic route. You can now in advertising, you probably want to do today in 2024, you want to do and even beyond that, organic reach, and you want to do paid traffic. So like running ads, direct mail campaigns, things like that. Now, don't feel extremely overwhelmed because I'm gonna recommend some systems in a minute that you can use that'll help you actually run your ads without it being like this big headache, right? And without you having to be or hire an expensive marketing agency or anything like that. I'm gonna recommend some of those things and the systems that you should use and the ones that you should stay away from. But some of the things, like I said, just sticking with preparation for now, that I would be preparing for the winter months. I would be putting out, and I know it's like what we saw early on, but what you got to realize again is looking at yourself, looking at yourself like where are you really going? When you know that your business is going further, you're going to what you'll end up doing, because I know that my business is going further, you'll end up like being more prepared from a longer standpoint. Like your vision will be longer. I don't focus like quarter to quarter anymore. I'm looking at, okay, where do I want to be at 5-10 years from now? What is the business model that I'm going to be looking at doing 5 to 10 years from now? And is what I'm going to be doing, is it going to be conducive? Is it conducive to what I'll be doing later? Am I doing something now that'll help me for later? Or am I just in it for the money right now? And that's what's going to help you separate, like, is event spaces for you, is, doing hair for you, is like being a coach for you, being in sales. Like, is it going to be something you're going to be doing it later, or is it going to just be a stepping stone for what you want? And once you outline those things, you'll know how to attack it. Now, if it's going to be a long-term, anything is a long-term business play, it's like, okay, well, you got to plan that way, you got to strategize that way, you got to look a little bit further than just right now. The bookings in June and July. We finna be in June, so you got to look past. And the summer always goes quick, especially when you're in like the Midwest. So I'm looking at, if I'm you, I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing, I'm looking at the winter months. I'm starting to put out my advertising for the winter months because that's your slowest season. So I'm gonna lock in I'm gonna lock in, especially if I have a venue and I do anything with like weddings and stuff like that. I'm gonna be looking at locking in like some of these winter weddings. I'm gonna be looking at putting out some stuff for some fall events because people are now, they tend to be booking for a lot later. I'm seeing that more and more, that people are booking for August, September already. They're trying to lock in their dates, and being the person that advertises, like, it's somebody in your city that's not thinking about this summer. They got they summer sold up, but they are thinking about fall. It's somebody in your city that's not thinking about, you know, they not thinking about July or August. They're thinking about, you know, man, like my anniversary is in January. Can I get a date right now? And so if you make the offer of what you want to have now, like, people will come to it. You know, like the whole thing, build it and they will come. Like, that's true. If you put it out there now, they'll come to it. If they don't know that you allow bookings further out, 6 months out, 7 months out, 8 months out, a year out, how will you know? Now, what does that open you up for? Well, it can open you up for a person canceling. So you want to make sure that your policy is in place. Know like what you do if somebody wants to cancel, or if they want to do whatever. Because what you'll find that people do is they like this. They'll book your space. They'll shop around. They'll try to get a better deal, and then now they're trying to come to you and cancel, get their money back. So you need to have, like, decide whether or not you're gonna have refundable deposits or non-refundable deposits to lock in the dates. You know, what we do and what I recommend people doing is like the non-refundables, and only being is because that allows you to keep your calendar secure, and then allows people to not play with your time, because it's hard to get another date, especially because you will get people that'll cancel on you the week before, 2 weeks before, and now you're trying to scramble and fill that date up, and it's just like, for what? Like, we got to do business better, right? So just preparing for the upcoming seasons right now will be my biggest recommendation. If you already got your space, I'll be looking out towards the fall and the fall and the winter being the slowest months, and I'll be looking at how can I really be like, and just put the bug in people's ear, like, oh, we're I don't know, so and so Lux event bridal suite event space is doing, we'll be doing a turkey drive this year. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a part, like, or we'll be doing like a Christmas coat drive, or whatever the case may be. And I would do more philanthropic, like more philanthropy style events for the upcoming season, if that's in your heart to do it. But that's just me personally. I will give back a little bit more. It's going to open the range up of people. And then for those of you that really like, I get a lot of people that say like, well, I want to do more corporate stuff. Well, you got to kind of put yourself on the radar, and you got to rub elbows with that type of clientele. And you got to, what are corporate companies? What are these big companies? What are they doing? They're giving back in the winter. They're giving back. They're doing cold drives. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're doing these corporate parties and corporate style events. Like the companies, they're booking out a little bit further because they already know, like, hey, look, this is coming up. I need it. Like we do a corporate Christmas party every year. Get on people's radar by putting the offer out there. So that's preparation, right? Of these upcoming seasons. Now, in terms of systems that you could use or not, or that you want to stay away from, y'all do know that one of the best things for your business and is using buy now, pay later options. With there being so many different event spaces popping up, having a buy now, pay later system, it works. It helps. It helps with people that don't have the cash up front, but they want to, and you still get paid. So hear me out. Don't think like they booking and then they're not paying you. No. So if you have like a Stripe, for instance, with Stripe, you can set up like Afterpay and Klarna, right? And so I don't know I don't work for Stripe. I'm not an affiliate of Stripe or nothing like that, or Afterpay or Klarna. But what it allows you to do is allows your customers to then come in, book it. You still get your full booking. It allows them to you can set it up to where it's the deposit, and they can put it on Stripe or Afterpay, or they can just do the whole thing, and then they can break it down to payments, and then it gives them the peace of mind that like, okay, my event is fully paid for, and then it gives you that full payment. And so, because I know a lot of people, they pretty much just invoice. You see a lot of people using like some people tell me they use like Acuity for scheduling. Some people use like Honeybook. Some people use like Square. It's a lot of different platforms and places out there. Um, I recommend like for I recommend an all-in-one system, and I'm talking about something that just it allows you to book inside, allows you to send your invoices, it allows you to collect your payments, it allows you to set up your calendar, just all in one. Because the for the newbie entrepreneur, running around and doing like what do you call those things? Running around and doing like the newbie entrepreneur is sometimes the unorganized entrepreneur, because me as the newbie entrepreneur, I was extremely unorganized, and I'm still getting my levels of organization like down. And so if I have everything in one place where I can post on my social media, where I can send my invoices, where I can collect my payments, where I can set up my calendar, it forces that organization level, and it forces you to streamline the process where I can send emails, send text messages, like do those things, which are super important. So if you're not sending emails and you're not sending text messages, you're leaving money on the table. Hear me when I say that. No matter what your business is, you should be sending emails and text to your list, and you should be building a list. That list being of people that are interested in your services. The biggest mistake that I see a lot of event space owners, and when I come in and I do like event space audits or VIP days or whatever, and people will be like, well, yeah, my event space I was making a lot of money, but then now they'll blame me like, oh, all these new event spaces popping up, that's why I'm not making no money. It's like, no, that's not it. It's like, well, are you emailing? No. Are you sending text messages? No. Are you reminding people that you're there? No. I'm just I'm just posting on social media. Like, leaving your fate to organic posting on social media is like, I'm not saying don't post on social media, but you have to, again, you're a big business. Do you see these big corporate companies sending you emails? Yes. Do you see them requesting your information? Yes. That's so that they can market to you at a later date. You may not send the email today, this summer, but holiday season, you need that email list. You need to remind these people of what's going on. And I would encourage you to definitely send it now, so you can kind of gauge, if your emails are getting open, if people are responding to your text messages, because you have like an actual email marketing health score. A lot of people don't understand that and know that in business. Like, email was one of the first things that I tapped into, and like marketing, it was like marketing and email and all that, and advertising was like my first like look at like entrepreneurship. And so you have like an email health score, and it takes time to build up a list. So like, if you haven't been collecting emails, or if you're not emailing, start emailing now. Like, start with something that's what's quote unquote, I don't like this word, but what's comfortable to you. I do. I'm like more of like with event spaces, more of like a 2 to 3 times a week type of person. And you don't have to necessarily do it every day, but like with event space, it's definitely like a 2 or 3 times a week, because you want to stay top of mind. You want your customers to know that you're still there and you're here to service them and whomever. Because people have birthdays every day. People have things they want to celebrate every day. And a past customer, even though that they booked last week, man, they might have came across some money and they like, man, I want all of my family and friends together. I want to do a card party or something like that. Those are like, it's a lot of people that always will reach out to me. I always reach out about like, man, Drell, can we do a card party? Can we do this? Can we do that? So it's like, staying top of mind in business, it's necessity, and you got to have the right system to do that. Like, you need an email marketing system. You need a system to send invoices. You need a system to send text messages. You need a system to run your ads, right? Of course, you got Instagram and Facebook, but running Instagram and Facebook ads, like, if you don't know nothing about ads, is difficult. And then you got these marketing agencies and companies out there, they're charging you, you know what I'm saying, $5,000 a month to run your ads. Like, that type of stuff can be overwhelming as a newbie business owner. And so, but having an all-in-one solution, it definitely helps. And instead of like, because I just dropped the link below under this video to that all-in-one solution. But it helps, and it's what I use. It's what I recommend people use because it has everything in one. It allows you to run your ads from it. It allows you to send your invoices, your text messages, your emails, post on social media, because it's overwhelming to go through all of these different platforms. I don't listen. Everybody all these people try to act like everything is so easy online, and I'm gonna be here to tell you, look, you get stressed out, you get overwhelmed with, man, I gotta log into this platform, man, I gotta remember this password. Then you thinking like, man, did I send them that invoice? Man, did I send them that reminder text? And so like setting up your systems and your automations, like, so it's on autopilot and you're not manually doing stuff. That's what's going to free up. That's how you're going to free up your time. We didn't start businesses to work more. And like, I didn't start a business to work more. I like having automations go out. I like if somebody books anything on my calendar, anything, that they're going to get a reminder. I like that they're going to get a follow-up text, right? So these things ultimately, like automations and systems, make your life easier. That it gives you that foundational piece of why you probably started entrepreneurship, just like why most people started. We want our time back. Yes, we want the money, but you want your time back. You don't want to have to wake up. And these keywords, have to do it. I have to wake up, get out the bed, and the only way I can go make my money, I have to go to a location, or I have to log onto this computer, or whatever the case may be. But if you got a system in place, you got a workflow in place, you got things operating while you're sleeping, it just makes things a lot easier. And I'm not talking about all that passive income mess, and I'm not saying it's mess, but like all that, just like the gurus talk that you see online. I'm talking about like just somebody comes in, they fill out a form, and they're interested in booking. They're interested in booking. I'm talking about like, and then after they fill out that form, they get an email, and then that email qualifies them even more. And then the email then prompts them to go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to, somebody's going to reach out to, and then you get the notification. Okay, you got the form in front of you. They're interested in the wedding, or they're interested in this, or they're booking a call with you because they want to join your coaching program, or whatever the case may be. And now you're on the phone, and they turn from a cold prospective, cold lead to a warm, qualified lead where you know what they want, what they need, and you can provide the exact service. And most of the time, getting on the phone with somebody for an event, like, okay, well, what type of event did you want to do? You're going over redundant questions that you could have already had sent out in the email, that you could have already had sent out in the text, that you could have already had set up with an automation, because it's just going to make your life easier. So the systems and automations and things that like that you can use, or again, like you got like your email platforms, and these are all, I can give you individual platforms. And like I said, I'll have like an all-in-one solution down below. But you got the email marketing platforms, the MailChimps, the active campaigns, you got the texted lead, you got the mobile text alerts, you got all these different platforms. And then for your websites, you got like Wix and all that stuff. And it's like, and then you got like for your booking calendars, you got like Acuity scheduling. Some people build these sites on like Squarespace, some people build them on Square. It's so much stuff out here. It's like, what do I pick? What do I do? You just got to do what's comfortable for you. I'm more of for organization purposes, I need everything to be in one place. Like, it was a headache for me logging into Squarespace scheduling, and then dealing with Squarespace website, and then going over here and I'm looking at marketing a different way because I didn't want to use Squarespace emails. It was a headache for me looking at, because I probably had every system out, tested all of them. Headache for me testing out Wix. Headache for me testing out like a Klaviyo, or a headache for me testing out active campaigns. Like, some of this stuff, like when you're a newbie entrepreneur, is just not like the thing. It's awkward because you don't know nothing about it, right? So I'm gonna link a solution down below. With that solution, I believe because I think the plan that I believe is that you can get like 24-hour support with it, but it do like they like to do like 24/7 support, tech support and stuff like that. And so if you have questions on how it works, what to do, stuff like that, but it literally has everything in it that you need to really run your business. And it don't matter what the business is that you have, whether it's from an event space. You can set up your calendars, you can send your invoices, your contracts, your payments, all that stuff. Send your emails, your texts, post on social media from inside the software, schedule your post out, and run your ads all the way down to if you got a coaching business or a real estate business or insurance business, you can build your websites out too. So it's like all in one is just better as a newbie business owner because, and from my personal opinion, because we're already when you're new, you're not organized all the time because you don't know what to do. And you're worried about how am I going to make this money with this new venture, especially when you start talking about a new venture like an event space, because it costs money. Like event spaces aren't cheap. Like they're not. 4K a month, 2,000 a month, and you still gotta pay rent, you still gotta pay car note, you still gotta pay all this other stuff. Like it's not, it doesn't come out to being a cheap expense. Now, will you make your money back? Yeah, if you're good at it and you know what you're doing, yeah. But making your money back and how much money you make has also a lot to do with the systems that you use or you don't use. So I'm gonna link that down below. But I hope this conversation just helped. It's not like just help with business overall for you. Like whether it's well, like I said, whether you're doing event spaces, whether you got a salon, whether online coach, whatever you're doing, I just hope it helps you. Like you come across this video, you're watching it. I hope it helps you because um, like the luxury stuff that you get, that man, you get that stuff and you be like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you don't enjoy it or whatever the case may be, because I enjoy the hell out of my cars, my motorcycles, I enjoy all of it. But what I am saying is that it has to be a deeper driving force. It just has to be something deeper as to why you're doing what you're doing. And once you find that deep, that reasoning, that purpose, it'll be easier to execute daily or every other day. Like, and last thing I'm gonna say on this is that consistency is not always every day, and don't let nobody else fool you and tell you it's every day. Consistency could be, 4 days a week. I do it Monday through Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Consistency could be, 3 days a week. But once you pick how often you're going to do a thing, long as you just show up all the time and do it in terms of how you picked it. And then if you change it, long as you just keep showing up, you got to show up for yourself in business because nobody else is going to show up for you. So peace and blessings to y'all. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon.